Jay.
Nice hair.
Thanks, I just got it done.
Got my hair
I'm
did.
feeling very 70s.
Look,
Yep. How are you? How's your week been?
today is Friday the 13th.
Oh,
This
I didn't even think about that.
this is the Friday the 13th edition of our podcast.
Oh, it's terrifying.
It, have you seen any like black cat? I can't remember what it is on Friday the 13th that we're not supposed to see, other than you should be scared of people named Jason.
Yes, Jason. And going camping, which I'm always scared of. So there's that.
You know,
I'm white, but I'm not camping white. Yeah.
well,
Or
okay,
skydiving white or charcuterie board white. So
you got to get on the charcuterie board.
a charcuterie board? I don't think so.
You got to get into that. There,
It's a Lunchable for grown-ups.
it is, but it's a good taste and Lunchable.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But if I'm having wine, which I don't drink wine, if I'm having beer, I really don't care what I'm eating. So,
What's your go-to then in place of a charcuterie board?
leftovers over the sink with a spoon,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
serving spoon,
We need to get you.
classy. Yeah,
At least do pinky up on the white clam that you're drinking.
white clam. You'll never say it that
Um,
way again, will you? You'll
I'm
say
gonna
white clam.
well, I don't really hang out with people who drink that.
Yeah, liar, liar. And I love some Zima too.
Oh, I
Just
like
saying, I loved it.
Zima back in the day was one of those things where people would like pick on you, but then they would secretly drink it,
Absolutely. It's good stuff.
especially in college. Be like, hey, what's
Hey,
that? Is that a Zima?
yeah.
And then later on, they'd be like, hey, man, you got any more of those Zimas up there? I'm
Right.
feeling kind of bloated from all the beer.
Yep.
Like, no, I pounded all six of those and my Bartles and James. Let's
Oh
go,
God, those gave me heartburn even as at a young age.
Bartles and James.
Yes. Ooh, wine coolers killed me.
Those were our go-to in high school, though.
Laura and I drank Miller High Life,
Mm.
and we would literally sit in the Kroger parking lot and scope out a single man. This is us at 16. And one of us would take turns, would run up and be like, "Excuse me, sir, would you buy us some beer?" And 99% of them bought us beer and brought our change back.
Yeah,
That's
those
why,
were the days.
yeah, they were when everything wasn't filmed. And you wouldn't be abducted for sex trafficking either, you know?
True, true.
So,
Yeah, be like, all right, listen, I need a pack of cigarettes and two bottles of Boone's Farm. Can you hook me up?
oh yeah. And they always did.
Yeah, yeah. And the great thing about it is you could hand somebody $5 and they could buy all that for $5
I know. And bring you change back.
and bring you change.
God.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So
Let's delve into it.
get your haircut. Is that because of Bob's birthday?
No, I had an appointment, but I did let her blow dry it, which I never do. She's like, "What's the occasion? Because you never let me blow dry your hair ever."
Is that what they call a blowout?
Yes. Yes,
Blow
it's not
dry.
what you really thought it was.
I mean, yeah, I saw
Not
some.
what you text me asking for crayon drawings.
Yeah. Well, I remember somebody one day said, I went and had a blowout today.
Huh.
Spotted, I was like, you shit yourself or you blew a tire. And
Right.
they're
That's what it sounds like.
yeah, a
Yeah.
blowout. I had a blowout. Like when have your baby, like, oh my God, my baby just had a blowout.
Oh, all the way up the back.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember those days. Lovely.
Oh man. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. So yeah, let's dive in, man. What do we got going on here?
All right. Well, we've got the holidays coming up, so everybody is stampeding to the ABC store, I guess, to see family.
People lose their fucking minds around Christmas.
They do, and they've lost all ability to drive as well.
Yes.
It's insane.
It- yeah.
What have you noticed?
So it was actually, I was out with Jordan last weekend and I was driving and she was like, why are people so crazy right now? Like we went to like some, I don't know, big box home store. I can't remember the name of it, but like she was just looking for like stuff for her room.
Hmm.
And to decorate a room, and it was like Mad Max out there, and people were like rude, and I was like, this is how it gets during Christmas. We're gonna celebrate, baby Jesus, but get the fuck out of my way because I got to
Oh,
get
yeah.
a thing for my kid or whatever. And it's, and people lose their minds. And we live right down the road from a huge mall.
Okay.
So going that way is just insane right now, which I don't know. People still shop in malls, I guess. I get all my stuff online.
Right. It's not the 80s anymore, kids.
We don't have to go to the mall to go shopping and be pissy with everybody. But yeah, it just seems like everybody just forgets the holiday spirit. And for me, it's around, being close to friends and family and just enjoying maybe a little slower time. And everybody else
Yes.
ramps up, and is stressed
Yes.
out about buying things and making sure they got this for this person. And am I going to get this, this year? And what am I going to do for myself? And it's like, dude, like I like the no gift. Like we have a no gift thing in our family. And we do little things, but like we literally like come up with like a list, like I kind of need this. And
Yes.
and then 9 times out of 10, since we're all ordering from Amazon, we're just like, okay, well, I'll put the order in, but it's exactly what you tagged in Amazon. And then our rule is just we don't look and track orders, you know,
That's smart.
coming in. And
I'm with you though. It has gotten so commercialized and materialistic, and I love to give. So I get that joy and that excitement from that. But I don't want to go out till after Christmas now. You're right. Everybody's in a pissy mood. They're in a hurry. And I, I saw something online and I loved it that, animals and birds and plants, they all just rest during the winter time and then
mm,
come back and bloom in the spring. And we humans really need to do that as well. Slow down and just, we have completely lost touch, in my opinion, of what the holidays truly mean. And it's not about buying stuff. And I don't know about you, but I don't need more stuff. I'm trying to get rid of my stuff.
yes, we are doing something where every week we try to pick some clutter or something. Like in my office here, I've got years of having an office and moving and moving and moving and just file and all this stuff. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I have what I need, like honestly, here at my desk. And so I'm trying to like take things, look through them, shred them, recycle them, or
Yes.
give them away. And every week we try to do like a bag out of each room and just
That's how you got to do it because I get so overwhelmed thinking about doing it all at once.
yeah.
If you do it a little bit at a time, it really adds up. So our
Mhm.
house was so cluttered when we were separated, and the downstairs has actually come so far. And it's peaceful now, and it declutters my mind, um, and I'm blessed. I don't need anything.
Yeah, same.
So a handwritten note, God, I sound like I'm 80. A handwritten note or something homemade
Hmm.
is so much more meaningful to me than,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have like Julia's pictures. And when Jordan was little, I would say like, why don't you draw a picture for, grandma and granddad or something like that? Because it meant so much more.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and we did do a no gift rule um, for the adults. And we'll say like, we'll get a little something for like Julia. Maybe they'll do a little something for Jordan. But even Jordan's, I mean, at her age, she's like, I don't want clutter. Like I
Right.
just want stuff that I actually need.
Hmm.
And so we made that rule a while ago, and it makes things a lot easier because there's no expectations that, oh, I got this for mom. What did you get, Steph, for mom? Oh, what did you?
Absolutely.
I don't
And
know.
especially now that the kids are older, 24 and almost 17, I'm more interested in memory making and experiences than just stuff.
Mhm.
They're not going to remember what was under the tree if I just buy a bunch of crap,
Yeah,
but they'll remember an experience or a trip. So,
yeah, yeah. So there's also, I read a lot about crazy family,
yeah, oh, yeah.
coming together during the holidays and like anticipating fights or I don't know, crazy uncle. I might be the crazy uncle, but I don't.
I'm definitely the crazy aunt,
Are you?
but crazy cool. Yeah, that's what I
Mm-hmm.
like to think. And I don't have any cats, so yet.
Oh God.
But I do want a bat very badly. Did you see that post?
A bat?
Oh my God, I have fallen in love with bats. They are so damn cute. They look like little dogs with these leathery wings, and I would carry it everywhere with, oh, I just have to have one.
No, you wouldn't. It would be stuck in your hair, freaking you.
Yeah. And I am so freaking sick of people telling me what I can have and do and not have. I'm not allowed to touch chainsaws. I have to be careful with fire, no flamethrowers, no
Well,
bat.
I think you can. It's because we care. So,
Thanks.
I respect that you're tired of that because you're a grown ass person. But you did slice your finger off.
Yeah, but I'm fine. I'm here. I'm alive and well.
True. We're helicopter friends. We went from
That's
helicopter.
right. That's right.
Who cares?
Maybe
And
you shouldn't do that, Jen.
if you,
I am quite accident prone.
you
Mhm.
gotta just know your limits is all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the thing about a cute bat. I don't like bats. When we were in the jungle, there is something called a vampire bat,
Yes.
and they low crawl across the ground. And if
Oh.
you're on the ground, then they can, when they lick you, where they're going to bite, and it has a numbing agent and an anticoagulant. And so
Oh.
people would wake up looking like they had an artery busted open because they got bit by a vampire bat.
God,
So,
this just makes me want one more.
yeah,
Like, tell me more, Jay.
I'm not coming to your house. Oh my God, I'd be sitting on the couch, look down, and be, dude, I'm bleeding to death. Your bat, Betty the bat, just bit my ankle, and I didn't even.
Or there's a Christmas party next week. Bob's business. Maybe I'll go to that and act like a vampire bat and crawl around on the ground, all dressed
Or
in black.
licking people's
Lick
necks.
somebody's ankle and bite them.
Lick somebody's. Yeah, you gotta go for the jugular. You'd be like, it's like, is your girlfriend sniffing me?
You
No,
gotta work your way up, you know?
she's. Oh,
Oh, did I
whoa,
say that out loud?
whoa.
What? What is this, leap year, Jay? No.
Now I'm gonna get in trouble with YouTube again and their horrible policies. My God.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to hear about your pet bat then, or you acting as a
Yes.
bat,
I
licking all
can't
the
wait. Can't
or
wait.
biting people's
Hmm.
necks. That's too much. So do you anticipate how are your Christmases? Are they civil?
They used to be incredibly stressful. Now
Mm.
it's the kids, it'll be Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. My sister will come over with her grown kids and we will eat and drink and play board games,
Mm.
which I love board games.
What's your favorite one?
God, there's so many. I really love Cards Against Humanity, but I have yet
Oh,
to play that with my kids because it can be inappropriate at times. And I do have boundaries. Um, we played Family Feud after dark the other night, which was a lot of fun. And Telestrations and Taboo.
I haven't played those. I'm not a big board game person, but
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
I
oh,
don't
are
know.
you one of those people that's like, let's just play for fun and not keep score?
Oh no, hell no.
Okay,
That's the
good.
reason why I
Okay,
can't
good.
play.
Because you're
So
going down. Yeah,
yeah,
play
I
to
get
win.
really competitive and I'm really good at Monopoly
Oh, I hate Monopoly.
because I would run circles.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd
well,
be
and it lasts 4 hours.
would last longer than that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we would have the whole thing where we'd start, we'd play a few hours, then we'd leave the board on the kitchen table, like not touch it, and then it would be
Oh,
coming back and playing the next night. And sometimes we would. Sometimes people would just automatically be like, dude, you just
yeah, I would always accidentally knock it over. Oops. Oh, no. The game's over. That sucks.
that's so childish.
It sucks. I hate it. And Candyland blows too, while we're at it.
Candyland. Yeah, we have a deck of cards. I didn't grow up playing cards. My mom did. It's a very Midwest thing, right? Euchre,
Okay.
all these other things,
I
but
love cards.
I don't know how to play anything but blackjack. Like I don't know
Really?
how to do like Texas Hold'em and
Oh, I
like
love all that.
we had penny poker night at the frat all the time. And I mean, people would be coming and going. Like we had an actual table and
Yes.
pat back.
Nephew has one of those at state.
Oh yeah. I
Yep.
mean, it's like, and I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I don't
Oh,
even
I love it.
play. People are like, oh, that's a good hand. You gotta, but your river. I'm like, I don't know, man. I can count to 21. I can play blackjack.
There you go. And I have a great poker face too, because my middle name is subtle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
so
can
I'm
see
really good at it.
I don't even know the terms. Oh my God, I got the turn. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what I'm talking about. We do have Uno. We do play
Love some Uno.
Uno's easy and it's fun.
Yeah. And those draw fours. Payback's a bitch.
Yeah,
Bam, bam, bam.
yeah, okay. So you're one of those. So
But
am
she's
I.
four, Jen. It doesn't matter.
You gotta slap it down and be like, reverse, bitches.
Yes. Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse
Oh, you
me.
thought you were gonna win on green?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Changing the color.
Got another thing coming.
Yeah, yeah. So it'll be a pretty good Holly. What was, if you don't mind me asking, how was it crazy before?
Just extended family
Mm,
and
lots of personalities.
that and on both sides, we both experienced a lot of mandatory fun days.
Mm.
You know, you get that from being in the military. You're going to be here and we're going to have fun. And I know this shocks everyone, but that kind of sucked all the fun out of it for me.
Sure.
So with my kids, now, especially now that they're older, I'm trying to make an atmosphere of, I know you've got your own lives. I know that you've got other people that you care about. I want when you're home to be relaxed and welcome and be like, oh,
Yeah.
not you need to be here and you need to celebrate at this time on this day. As long as I'm being thought of and I get that time with them, but I get that time with them throughout the whole year
Right.
because we make an effort, all of us. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what's meaningful to me. So
Yeah. That's
how
cool.
about you? What are you doing for the holidays?
Well, we were so because mom and Steph cooked for Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to cook or I'm cooking for Christmas
Oh, awesome. What are you cooking?
roast.
Yum. Smoking it?
No, no,
Okay.
I have a killer roast that I actually do in a pressure cooker. It
Now,
is
you're a really good cook.
it is amazing. So I'm doing that. We're doing some sides, but we were going to have it here. But I was talking to Jordan the other day, and she was talking about how anytime we would host here, the dogs were a part of the vibe. Like they're in your
Yeah.
lap, they're harassing you under the table, they're when everybody's sitting and having naps or whatever,
Right.
in the living room, they're jumping on your lap. And she was like, I think it'll be too much for me because it'll be very obvious they're not here and it's too soon. So we're gonna cook and then we're gonna go to Steph's house.
Now, are you gonna stay there or are you gonna RV?
No, we're just going to go for a couple hours.
Okay.
Now I did book a spot at the lake the next day through the second. I'm gonna
Nice.
spend a week or however.
At Jordan Lake?
Lake Lynn.
Okay. You guys
It-
gonna fish?
Can you do that in the winter?
Yeah, I mean they gotta eat.
Yeah, but aren't they like really deep? Listen, I suck at fishing during fishing time. So I want to make a deal with you
Okay.
before I pass from this universe. Please take me fishing because
I will go fishing with you anytime. I
you
swear it is a date anytime. And
would love
we
it.
talk about it. Jay, we are no spring chickens anymore. We are
We
in
got
our
to do that.
50s. You should come to the coast and we should go out. I met the coolest people, and he's a captain. And God, he knows fish and how they think. We were
Mm.
catching them hand over fist. We were in a realtor fishing tournament. And Bob, yes, he rubs this in my face all the time. He caught, I swear, this fish must have been 36 pounds, a red drum, on a treble hook. Do you even know what that is? It's the one that has the three little hook. He shouldn't have caught it or been able to reel it in. It was insane. It was too big for the tournament. We had to throw it overboard.
So back up. You said he puts that in your face.
That he outfished me
Oh, okay.
constantly. Yeah.
Constantly. Gotcha. Well, it is, I do like harassing you when you do your pictures of your fish because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you zoomed in on that. That thing's probably like a minnow, but
That's why I bring the little dinosaurs for
I have,
scale.
I have the
Look,
mad,
the fish I caught is bigger than a dinosaur.
I do have mad respect for it. I suck at fishing, and
Oh, it's a promise. We will absolutely go fishing.
uh,
I'd love that.
I think it'd be fun. And I've never done like deep sea. I want to do deep sea fishing or like offshore fishing one day.
Yes.
I want to do like the tuna
You
thing.
don't even have to go offshore to catch the big ones.
Well, I know.
Sometimes I get sick unless it's like glass. Truth be told, I can get seasick, but
Leave all that white claw coming up.
yeah, exactly.
White clam in the
White
ocean.
clam, white clam.
Yeah, I do hang out like when we go down. So we just have to coordinate because we go down all the time in the RV on the coast.
Yeah.
And
Oh, absolutely. I will
like
meet you.
I go to the pier and I'll watch like, people fishing on the pier and just kind of hang out and all of that. And then you always have like the shore. Dad was a shore fisher. He did from the
Yes.
shore. But almost all the time it was like either flounder or sharks. Like
Yes.
that's what he would catch. And but I've just always wanted to go out in a boat and like do the tuna or whatever. We have
Let's
done the
do
things
it.
where like it's like the big boat was like, I don't know, 50 people and you just are like on a long, long bench.
Yes, that's a head boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, Jay, it's not what it sounds like.
So
What is this leap year?
this whole fishing
No,
thing.
it's called a head boat. And that's kind of what started my joy of fishing. They know where the fish are.
Head boats.
Yeah,
Hmm.
let's do it. It's a promise
Did you
to
know
our
what you're signing up
listeners.
for? Did you know what you were signing up for when you were like, oh, head boat? I'm gonna
What
sign up for that. And then you get on
kind
there
of
and
boat is this?
they're like, no, we're doing fishing. We're
Right, exactly. Uh,
oh man. Yeah. So Christmas has never been weird for us. We're
Good.
we're tight family and our, you know, um extended family is always pretty cool. I think the bellwether for me is if I can go to your house, eat the food, and then go crash on your couch and feel comfortable completely passing out and being myself, then it's the right environment for me. Like I'd feel comfortable doing that there. I felt comfortable going to my grandparent, a
Yes.
dear friend of mine, Chris and Nicole, his wife, like, we would celebrate holidays and it was so relaxing that I would just, get on the couch and be like, I'm out.
Maybe that was the puzzle piece I was missing was just after I ate, just passing out.
I love a good nap.
Oh God, I do too.
Have a good
I'm
nap.
ready for one now. It's been
Well,
a long day already. I'm telling you, just running around and
that'll mess up your hair though if you lay down right now. Or do you wear
I
the
know I've started wearing a bonnet. Yes. Olivia's like, want to wear my bonnet? And I'm like, I really don't while I'm driving down Battleground, but thanks.
that's cultural appropriation.
It is, but it works. It works.
That's the beautiful thing about being multicultural societies. You can take the things that work from each other's
Oh
culture.
yeah. Well, Olivia, when she went to Oak Ridge Military Academy, some of her closest girlfriends were African American, and she would see their beauty
Hmm.
routine in the evening, and she started wearing a bonnet then, and has always worn one since then. And I
Yeah.
swear she's got gorgeous shiny hair. So
Jordan does the same thing. Of course, she can get away with it.
yeah.
Uh, but she comes home from work and it's like, she has her face routine and her hair routine, and then she throws her jammies on and then comes down and she's like,
Oh
jammies.
yeah, my middle name is sexy. Let me tell you, with my fuzzy socks,
At least she,
my aqua robe, and my bonnet, and then I slug. Do you know what slugging is? With Vaseline?
are we allowed to talk about this?
Yeah.
Did you learn it on
Again, this is not
you learned
what you are wanting it to be.
I didn't
This
want it.
is putting Vaseline all over your face.
No,
And it's sexy. Let me tell you.
that causes pimples. Aren't you clogging
Causes what?
aren't you clogging up your pores when you do that?
No, because I'm old and I have drier skin now. If I was 20, yeah, it would have. But now I can't get enough of it.
Jordan got me we went to H Mart and she likes to get the detox things that you can put on your face.
Yes.
And she was like, "Oh, you just, rub it on there and, I'm going to do it. Why don't you do it?" I was like, "Sure. All right. So let's do it. We'll meet in the living room and then we'll watch a show or whatever." And she cracked up because I only have this much face because I got a beard, but I'm a bald head. So I put it on my head too.
Oh, God.
Like, where do you consider your face to end? And I was like, the back of my neck.
Right.
I'm bald.
Of course.
So I had this huge mask.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
It was pretty sexy. I mean, I can pull off anything though.
Well, you can. I mean, you're hot chocolate
I mean, it's like, is
and
Denzel,
humble too.
is Denzel Washington ever not look good looking?
Oh, I love me some Denzel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My nickname used to be the Pebble, because I was really back when wrestling and The Rock was big into
I'm
wrestling.
sorry, I didn't watch wrestling.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I know who that is. Yeah.
So when he was
Oh,
with
you were the pebble
the Pebble,
of the rock.
I was I was fairly muscular back then. It was when
Oh, God.
I would host these wrestling parties at my house.
Of course you would.
We would have cheap pizza. This was
Uh-huh.
before I could afford a charcuterie board.
Okay.
So we just had
Moving on up, huh?
cheese whiz. We had cheese whiz.
Oh, God.
We would watch the wrestling, and I could do all his moves, and I could talk like him. And one day somebody was like, "Dude, you're the Pebble."
God. I hope you have a tattoo that says that.
The Pebble? No,
Yeah.
that could be misconstrued. No. So, what else is crazy? I know you were posting the other day about this guy that choked out this dude on the train.
Yes, and I do have very strong feelings about it. And
Your strong feelings.
it's Daniel Penny. Is that his name? I always want to say Perry, not like Steve Perry. Um, yeah. So again, I'm very mistrustful of the news and news sources. So I'm going off of what I've read and
Yeah.
seen. Um, I if what I have found out to be is true, where I don't like hearing about anybody being killed, period. I just don't. What I understand, again, from what I have delved into, is that the man was acting crazy, the man that ended up dying, and he's been arrested 42 times. And for one of those was an offense against an older woman, um, and sucker punching her.
Mm.
And I know, as a woman and having a daughter, you're trapped underground in a metal tube and someone is acting erratic. That is terrifying.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. And again, I wasn't there, but it makes me wonder if that young man had been found guilty, would people already are filming shit when they should be helping, in my opinion.
Right.
But what kind of message does that send to people? They're going to be scared to step in.
Hmm.
Um,
So this was where what I've read and when I say read TikTok.
yes,
No, I'm
I
kidding.
read an article.
I read an article. I actually did. So I saw your post about it, and I was like, well, let me look a little bit deeper because I've just seen what I saw on the news, right? So this guy comes onto the train and he's acting crazy and he's talking about, I'm going to kill somebody and I don't care if I die or something like that, which
Right.
which is
And
which is pretty scary.
them's fighting words to me.
That
Right
is
here.
that is
That
scary.
would definitely get my attention.
And so this guy who's a Marine, uh,
Hmm.
was, because there are no former Marines. If we have Marines listening, I get it.
Right.
Blah blah blah. Uh,
At least you're not bitter.
I'm not bitter. It's Army's better.
But again, back to the crayon thing, Marines are known for eating crayons, right?
They're eating
So,
crayon.
but they are, yes, and they're to be the guardians once they're a Marine. They continue to be.
Yes. Well, and you know, the one thing I've worked with so many different branches. I do love them, all of them, and they all play their role. And when I worked with the Marines in Iraq, and they were the people that you want at your side when the shit goes down, right? Like
Mhm.
they are bred for war. and
Yes.
and it doesn't matter if they're a cook, it doesn't matter if they're a supply person. I was hanging out with some of their intelligence people and a few of their infantry people, and even their intelligence people were like, "We will pick a rifle up and go in that village," you know.
Right.
Um, so this guy's trained, and he steps in, puts the guy in a chokehold, gets him on the ground, and I guess the guy dies.
Yes.
Right. So I can see your point because I didn't respond to your post because I wanted to do research before I just started making jokes. Because
Right.
it's that when you make a serious post and when you're making a jokey joke. Um, and so I I watched the interrogation tape when he was brought in, and I found it fascinating because I came from interrogation.
Right.
And so I watch this video sometimes like on TikTok where it's like
Just for fun.
this person, did he or did he not, murder his, wife or whatever. And I like to test myself and see if like I'm still good at like picking up the behaviors and this and that and nuances. So I was fascinated in watching this one. And the only thing, and he started tripping up, was there are two types of chokeholds. There's one to get somebody and detain them, but is
Yes.
non-lethal. There's the same move, put a hand behind their neck, and you shut their windpipe off.
Okay.
And when the guy said, "Okay, well, stand up and just show me how you did the chokehold," the guy did this and put his hand behind his head and then took his hand down quickly.
Okay.
And the other detective, because you always have somebody watching, for
Right.
the nonverbals, was like, "Did you do that chokehold or this chokehold?" And he
Mhm.
was like, "Well, no, I didn't put my hand behind his neck." And so then I started reading the comments, and we're like, and I was kind of, I'm taking it at face value, right? I was like, well, in the heat of the moment, if you're trained to kill and incapacitate somebody, you probably won't. Like, I can't play fight with somebody, right? Like Jordan always wants
Right.
to play fight.
Right.
And I'm always like, and she's very strong. She hits really
Mhm.
hard and she wants to grapple hard. And I'm like,
Love
I
it.
I can't I can't go from uh playing and getting hurt and hit
Romping
because
or fighting are
she
two
hits
different things.
hard.
Yes.
Like I'm like, I can't do this because I will see your nose and want to break it. Like I will see this and I will want to take advantage. I'll see
Right.
your this. And so like our play fighting turns into tap fighting because I can't, right? Like I would turn it on. And so I think in the heat of the moment, the guy probably did like,
Probably.
in that, and he probably realized during the interrogation, oh shit,
Right.
that is a death move, not an incapacitating move.
And it's fight or flight.
And it's fight
It's
or
in
flight,
what he's trained for.
what he's trained for. And so
Um,
I,
but I kept seeing a video on repeat, or I kept reading this article over and over again that said he just wanted something to eat. And I'm sorry, that do you think I'm stupid? Do you think we're stupid? I don't see someone okay, I do, because I do think there's crazy fucking people in the world. Are there people that are going to lose their mind and do something nuts, spur of the moment in front of a bunch of people? Yes.
hmm,
But I'm sure there were so many other things that precipitated that in
yeah,
terms of, do I think that he wasn't hungry or needed food? Probably not. And the other thing, to add insult to injury, is it seems like his father is finally showing up. Like, where the hell have you been?
the guy who was killed.
Yes.
So that's the thing, right? Like we only get snippets. And what's the whole story? Um, one of the things that I thought about, and you mentioned 40 some times this guy's been arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those were for assault. Where is the system then?
Oh,
Why did it get to the
100%.
point? If this person was, had mental health, behavioral health
Which
issues,
I think he clearly did.
clearly, that's what
So again, we go back to our first podcast.
where
He should have been at the top of the list for receiving
care.
assistance.
Right. So if and if you look at what our prison systems for, rehabilitation was bullshit. Like
Oh, complete
it,
bullshit.
no
It is
matter,
not.
there's so many examples of people that went in for something small and became career criminals because then they go to criminal university. Not,
Yes,
and you have feel good stories too, where people get their degrees, they get their GED, they get
sure.
a trade, and they come out and they lead a great life.
But let's say you're arrested for, I suspect that drugs, nonviolent crimes can be felonies as well.
Mhm.
But how many people are going to hire a felon? So it's just this vicious cycle that
It's just like,
continues and continues. And
yeah, and I am for, and I know people that are in this world, trying to help those folks get jobs, careers, not just jobs, right? Like,
yes,
and I pushed this with a company that I was working with one time, where the type of industry that they were in, I was like, would you be open to, first time rehabilitated, blah, 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 people who have, and they were, and they ended up, they had like warehousing and distribution and things like that. And they ended up putting people in meaningful jobs, and that's all they wanted. And that's what they needed. And their life was great, so I think there's so many different ends, like, there's so many different angles to this. But the fact that this person is still on the street, not rehabilitated, 40 some arrests.
hmm,
So then I look at the system, what put that person in the situation that maybe they didn't, maybe he was out of his mind. Like, is he schizophrenic? Is he, like, what are some things
I've
that,
had that thought as well.
you know?
Yes, there was clearly something going on. And I think it is an unfortunate event all around
Yeah.
for the man that died, for the man that put him in the chokehold. Nobody should have been in that situation in the first place.
Right. Right. That's kind of what I think about. But the reality is that that is the system, and we do have that. So, um, you know, was that so so what I thought about after reading all that and looking at that is, gosh, well, what's the law? Like, I'm a concealed carry person, right? And
Mhm.
so if I were to see that happening and I thought, does this dude got a bomb? Is he going to start hacking people? Because
Yes,
nobody was moving.
yes,
Nobody, there were a few people trying to kind of help,
yes.
look like, but everybody was tentative. More people were filming, like to your point. So if others would have been involved, and it's so hard, we're quarterback, armchair quarterbacking, right? Like, but maybe if other people would have been involved, like detain, then he wouldn't have had to put him in like a
Yes.
chokehold, right? Like, so there's so many what ifs in this
But
situation.
on that note, again, this is
Mhm.
due to my own limited knowledge. I too am concealed carry. And God forbid, I hope I'm never in that situation where I have to use it. But there is self defense.
Yep.
Um, you truly believe and know that your life is in danger. Um, but let's talk about New York City. Okay. It's beyond liberal policies. You
Hmm.
cannot conceal carry there. You
Hmm.
can't even have a taser there.
Right.
Um, which a taser would be great to detain someone who's acting the fool and threatening everyone on a subway. Non-lethal force.
Hmm.
Um, I don't like cities that, again, as a woman, are going to put me or those I love in a situation where I can't defend myself. I
Yeah.
can't
I don't,
chokehold someone.
yeah.
I think this comes around too to where I'm seeing a pattern of I'm just going to lay it out, men not being men.
Mm.
I it takes balls to stand alone and do the right thing if other people are being threatened. And that to me is the essence of a man. Protect.
Mm. Yeah, that's
Because I'm
interesting.
a big fat sexist. There,
Uh,
I said
I, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think, well, women want equality. Protect yourselves, man.
We're not equal. If we arm wrestle, you think that you're not going to beat my ass?
Probably not, because your arms are 2 times longer than mine.
No longer, but they're not stronger.
Your hands are bigger than mine. No, so no, there are fundamental differences, right? But
Yes.
that's a tricky one for me because being in the military, at the time, women weren't allowed in combat arms. And there was an exercise that I was on for several months where it was men and women, and we all were having to do like daily, we had to do like combat operations in this training environment. And they gave me all female squad leaders, which meant they had to carry the radio plus their pack plus their
What
weapon.
does that weigh? 40 plus pounds?
Oh yeah, easily,
Oh,
easily, easily. But you're supposed to show up with a standard of being able to carry your combat load and do
right.
operation. Like that's the standard. And I'm always I don't care what your gender is, like it's the standard kind of thing, right?
Yes.
And they gave me one of the trickiest exercises where we went from a wood line into this big open field, and we had to traverse the field and then get to the other side and keep patrolling. And when we got halfway through the field, they did a simulated ambush. And so everybody gets down and you have to start maneuvering the units. And so it's very tricky. And I'm like,
You have to, one might say you have to crawl like a vampire bat.
you have to crawl like
Okay.
a fireman. You have to leap and bound, and you have to do it in synchronized form, all while under fire. And so I'd done this a lot, and I was in the mechanized infantry in the guard. So like I was rattling off orders like, second squad bound left, first squad fourth.
Right.
I was killing it. I was like, oh, I'm going to do really well on this. And then I look back and nobody's moving. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay. So I start to stand up, and they have this little laser, like so the guns shoot these little lasers when you
Right.
put blanks, and you wear this stuff and it'll beep when you have like a near miss, and it'll ring when you're hit.
Okay.
So I stand up and I get beep, 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 beep. So everybody knows like I'm in charge. So everybody's aiming for me on the enemy side. So I start low crawling across this field, and on my radio, the people that are running the simulation is like a major or somebody is like, I need a situation report, and I'm crawling. I've got that radio. I've got my radio person. He's crawling behind me, and I'm on my radio trying to get the squads to move, and I'm on this guy's radio who's crawling next to me trying to report up to higher and say what's going on. And I'm like, my squads aren't moving, and they're yelling at me. They're like, get your shit out.
Right.
You know,
No
you
gentle
you're in
parenting in the
charge.
military, huh?
Get out of the ambush.
Right.
And so I crawled to the first one, and they had dropped their packs because they couldn't carry them and maneuver.
These are females?
Yes.
Yes.
And so I then had to start like manually moving people. It turned into a disaster.
Yes.
And I got a horrible rating on that exercise.
But I
I
think that shows the fundamental physical differences between men and women.
So yes, that was how I came out of that exercise. I was like, I went back to the organizers. I'm like, what the hell, man? You gave me all women, blah, 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 so right. And clearly they couldn't make the standard to do the exercise. Like, why aren't they getting in trouble? Why am I the one? And they were like, you were in charge. You never
You're
know
the
what
leader.
you're gonna get. You're the leader. You got to figure it out. I'm like, well, I did. I had to crawl hundreds of yards to finally get everybody moving and use hand and arm signals from like ancient times to
Right.
get out of this ambush. Like, have a little grace on me here. But then we did another exercise a few days later, and I was wounded in that exercise. I was a simulated wounded person. Woman comes up, rushing up. She rolls like they teach you to roll,
Yep.
rolled me on her back, stood up, and carried me off the
Holy
battlefield.
crap.
And
Wow.
so I was like, well, damn, like, and so from there, and then I met my wife, right, who could do the same things. And I went through more training where this guy's like, I want to go infantry. And we did another simulation. I don't know why they always had me wounded, but he runs out and he tries to pick me up, and he drops me. And then he starts trying to drag me
Oh
across the
gosh.
battlefield. And then with the simulation, he's like,
Right.
and so there are men that can't do it, but he got into the infantry, and so
Interesting.
it was a really interesting thing. And then there was something that came out the other day around there are women in Delta Force, and you just don't know about them. There's like You know,
I'm sure there's
season.
exceptions to every rule. And I remember when they were talking about women in combat, and that was always my first thought is uh, helping a wounded
Hmm.
fellow soldier,
Right.
getting them off and out of harm's way.
Right. And a lot of medics are women. And now, so by the time I got to Iraq, there were more women on the front line. There were definitely women on the front line. Combat.
Hey, I'm telling you, you catch us at the right time of the month for perimenopause at this age, Gen X. I wish that they would that they would draft us.
attack, attack,
I pity the fools.
attack us on this on
Yeah,
during this
me and
week.
my bat into battle.
During this week. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm accident prone again, so there's that.
Trip and fall.
Yes,
We could put you in supply or something.
yes.
You'd be fine.
Okay, do
You'd be,
that.
but so I don't know how we got on this tangent,
I
but
don't know. It's how our minds work, but
so
protecting,
so
doing the
yeah,
right
I
thing,
guess I was
and
making a joke about about men should be men. There are women that out there that can absolutely kick some ass,
oh
but
yeah,
let's say general population, I'm very cognizant not to ever underestimate or kind of punch down on women and their capabilities. So I guess there's that piece of my
I
brain.
think you're wise.
There's also there's also the side that I get it. Like, if like I try to think, what would I do in that situation? Well, you know, I would feel compelled to step in and
Yes,
and and hope that others would follow me, because I'm not
yes,
the strongest person in the world. I could try to rely on training that's really, really old, but if somebody's younger, if somebody has the strength of, I mean, there are people that are out of their minds. You don't know if they're on drugs, they might,
yes.
right? Like you could, you,
And you've seen those, you've read those articles as well, where people are on drugs, and it takes six cops to bring them down.
right. And so
Um,
are you going to throw yourself in that kind of harm's way?
right.
I'm an idiot that would, but to your point though, I did get in a pretty big debate with somebody one time. Um, they were like, they took a picture of a sign at a restaurant that said no, no weapons. And they said, I love this. I wish the whole country would do it, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, to me, that's the place where people are going to pray. They go to schools,
Yes.
they go to places where you're not supposed to be carrying because they
They're
know
the ultimate bully. They're going to do what they
speak
can get
that.
away with.
And I said, would you feel safer in there if somebody came in and started shooting? Would you feel safer that, well, I don't have this, hey, what's going on?
Can you see Owen? Ah, okay.
Someone just cracked by. He was like, "Doot, doot, doot."
Well, I was waving. And
Oh,
Owen, see my long arm?
I'm surprised you didn't hit the guy across the
I
room.
know. Ah, Inspector Gadget arms.
But I said, or would you feel safer that that sign's not in there and that there are going to be people like me in there that could react? And she was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This whole hero with a gun. She started throwing statistics and like all this other stuff. And she was like, you probably would hurt people. I was like, well, let me give you a little bit about my background. Like I spent a lot of time on the range and I'm ex-military. I've been in combat. Like I know how to not, how to not hit somebody from behind somebody, right?
Right.
And then somebody else was a former police officer and came in and was like, Jay's right. Like, there are a lot of people. Yes, there are idiots out there that don't train to get their concealed carry, and they
Yeah.
probably are more harmful. But at the point where you are completely 100% defenseless and somebody comes in with a high capacity rifle and
Yes.
decides that they're going to start going to town, would you rather have people that can maybe end that? And she was like, no, you're more danger to society. And I was like, well, and so to your point about New York and all these cities, look, people will find weapons. It doesn't even have to be a gun. People,
Pencils, pens. And in England, I believe people are stabbed, which I'd rather be shot than stabbed. I don't want to be either. But
well,
machete attacks? No, thank you.
neither.
Not, no,
No thanks.
neither.
Yeah, when I did an operation in the UK, they told us about their escalating rules, and they were like, you Americans, we don't have guns, blah blah blah, blah, and all this other stuff. But they were like, we have knives, we have bats, we have we have machetes, we have all these other
Right.
things. if you are in a situation, the rule here is if somebody picks up a chair and is coming after you, you can pick up a chair. Same level of force. And I was like, well, that's kind of
Sorry.
No,
Ruby, my little 14-year-old dog, she can't see, can't hear. She just woke up. Might be time to end the podcast. So I can tell her where she is, poor thing.
Aw. Yeah, that's a tricky one. I think
Yeah.
you picked a tricky one there because I don't know what the right answer is. You know, the guy was protecting people, you know, but I look at the system. This guy's out there clearly has problems and should be taken.
By the time it culminates into this kind of event, there have been so many things that have gotten society and him and Daniel and everybody to the perfect storm.
Yep. And I don't want to be in his situation to have to protect people and then sit there and wonder while I'm trying to also protect myself, wonder, well, am I going to end up going to jail because I did the right?
Yes.
That's the scary part for me.
Exactly. And I think that's what you so succinctly just said that I couldn't spit out is that I want people to do the right thing if it's inherent in them. And for me, it's primal. If I'm hit or I'm threatened, it's more of fight than flight. And when you are in a steel tube underground trapped, you can't flee.
Right.
So,
you're fighting.
Well, honey, I'm going to have to sign off.
All right. Go get that dog.
I love you. Give the girls my love. And
all right.
I'll see you soon.
Have a great